And it's the holidays, and of course, it is better to give than to receive. And what better way to give than give a party? Party for a reason. And we're here today with Arsen Ari Kalfayan. Did I botch that up too badly?
No, it's perfect. Thank you.
Tell us about Reason to Party, because it is more than just an event planning organization. It really has a mission to help people.
Yeah, my co-founder and I, Oko Grapando, started the organization about 1.5 years ago, and we found ourselves throwing parties just for friends, 200 people here, 200 people there, and we're not party planners or event coordinators, so we were just doing it for fun, bringing different communities together, and we decided to couple that work with charity, and that's how Reason to Party came along.
And what sort of charities have you helped in the last? You said just 1.5 years ago you founded this.
Yeah,
and already I've seen the roster. Quite a few groups have benefited from your skills.
Yeah, we've had about 10 organizations that we've helped. A couple to highlight: Equality California, My Tree, We Players, which are the resident artists on Alcatraz. Those would be 3 that we've helped so far.
Now, I've lived here 23 years, and I didn't know that Alcatraz, which started out as a prison and now is, I believe, a federal park, had a resident artist.
Yeah, it's something that they recently started, and Ava is the resident artist on Alcatraz, and her troupe, We Players, did something really innovative that we wanted to support. They brought Hamlet to the Rock, and they used the private as well as public spaces to perform in. And as a guest of the island and a guest of the troupe, you actually start on the boat when you dock at Alcatraz. They start the performance and they walk you through these spaces and they give you a tour through the play of the island.
So it really is very immersive sort of theater.
Absolutely,
now,
absolutely.
My degree in college was in theater, and I did a whole study of Hamlet. And I've heard of it done many different places. I would never have thought of doing Hamlet on Alcatraz. What was that like?
It was phenomenal. I mean, it calls for rain in one part, and we're sitting on the island, and it starts raining during that scene. So it was really interactive with nature as well as the island. And they did a phenomenal job of incorporating all the different sites and making it their own.
Now, you now run your business, Reason to Party, here in San Francisco, which you're originally from the South Bay, San Carlos, you said. What did your family say when you said, "Hi, I'm going to start an organization throwing parties for a good cause"?
Well, they saw the transition. When I graduated from college, I worked in finance for a couple of years. And one thing about finance that I learned, it was very prudent and very conservative by nature. And they didn't give back much to the community. So when I left that organization, I decided to do the exact opposite of what I was doing and give myself 100%. And my mom and my family were very, very supportive of that.
Now, you say that the financial sector in general you don't think is very giving or is too prudent. What do you mean by that?
At least at the organization that I worked for, there was an example where there were about 30 people that were going to go to the AIDS walk. And we were all walking separately. And I pitched to the execs at the organization, why don't we create a team for the company to walk, and we'll get some name recognition, some good branding, maybe even clients out of it. And they said that wasn't for them. They don't want to associate their name with the AIDS walk in San Francisco.
Do you think that's because they're AIDS phobic or homophobic?
You know, I'm not going to comment. It is up to them. We dealt with extremely high net worth individuals that were highly conservative. So I can see where they're coming from, but I do not agree with their methodology.
So how did that make you feel? Here you are, you're raising money for an AIDS HIV organization, and you're obviously giving of your time and raising money. And then you go, wow, this is a great thing, and other people in the company are doing it, and they say, well, yeah, we want to give the money, but we don't want anyone to know we're giving the money.
It is interesting. I marched straight up to the president's office, and I made a big stink about it. In the end, I was marginalized. I was just an associate. But that was the main reason I left. There was no, and I never connected to the concept of making money for the sake of making money. Unless it's connected to something you're very passionate about, it just doesn't feel right. And out of college, just like most people, you don't know what you want to do. And I thought making as much money as possible was that goal. And I found out very quickly that wasn't my main passion in life, and it doesn't work.
Do you think you found your main passion with Reason to Party?
Yeah, Reason to Party is something I do on the nights and weekends. After I left finance, I took a year off, and in that time, Oko and I created Reason to Party and brought it to a point where it was self-sufficient. For example, we have someone writing the blog and vetting charities that actually writes for The Economist and bringing really key and innovative people on board that can do the different parts of work that are needed to create a successful organization. when we put them in place, that's when I started to work again, full-time for a tech startup actually here in San Francisco.
And tell us about that. So you're a techie by day, a philanthropist by night.
Exactly.
Is there a uniform and a cape with that, or?
I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it's a blur.
Yeah.
It's like the Tasmanian devil. You don't know where you are or what you're doing. It's the tech company is actually called Crowdflower, and I was employee number 6 for the company, the first full-time sales hire. And over the last year, I helped build the sales organization, ran the sales organization, which includes at least 5 Fortune 500 companies, as well as some of the most innovative tech companies in California. So it's been highly successful, and it's Trinity and Bessemer backed, really successful, top tier of most startups. So it's been a really fun ride.
You know, during the darkest of the AIDS HIV years, late 80s, early 90s, there was a whole group of philanthropists, very established, gay and non-gay, who really came forward. And it seemed to be, in a sense, a golden age of philanthropy. There were too many organizations to give to. I have heard over the years, and I'd like you to correct me if you think this is a bad stereotype, that the tech community, tending to be so young and so kind of new to all of this, hasn't understood how to do philanthropy. Do you think that's true?
I think there's a disconnect right now with the younger generation. One of the things that we've found are the 20 to 40-somethings want to give. And with how connected they are in the world, with the internet and their time being mapped out minute by minute, hour by hour, they don't know where to give and how to give. And one of the nice things about Reason to Party is it's painless philanthropy. We're giving something giving them something that they would already be doing, which is nightlife and networking, in a way where they're getting a better deal than they would otherwise. They pay $30 generally, and they get free alcohol, open bar, from our sponsors like Blue Angel Vodka, Absolute, Moet Hennessy, and appetizers in beautiful venues like the St. Regis Hotel. And they come in, all the money donated, 100% of the proceeds go to charity. But part of that is actually getting them in the door so we can inform, educate, and get them really involved over time with the nonprofit community. So it serves a dual purpose.
Yeah. Well, what is it they always say? A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Yeah.
Now, to get that medicine, though, you've got to have some really good sugar. So before you started A Reason to Party for good causes, you said, I love when you said, I was just throwing parties for 200 or 300 of my friends. How do you get those 203 people who say, Arsen's having a party, I got to go because I know it's going to be great?
We actually use Facebook exclusively for our parties, and the reason is that we want to create events that go viral. And what we do is bring on hosts who are connected to the people that we'd like to come to our events. And that way, you're not being selective in the sense that if someone can't afford coming to our parties, I send in most of our emails, or at least once for every event, that they should just email me, and I will put them on the guest list. If you have financial hardship, we want you to attend. Because at some point, you're not going to be in financial hardship, and you're going to continue to give to the community. So we invite our hosts, they invite their friends, and it goes viral. So for the Maitri Bliss Gala that we threw November 2009, we actually had over 10,000 people invited to the event via Facebook.
And how many people showed up?
Over 1,000.
Wow, and that's 10%. That's incredible, and not to mention the relationships that are built. And Maitri, for those who don't know, that's I believe the last still existing AIDS hospice in California. What do you have coming up in January for the new year?
So in January, I'm actually co-chair of the Quality California Award Gala, February 12th at City Hall. And one of the things we want to do is connect Equality California to the younger demographic. The gala is $350 a ticket. Major donors, the platinum sponsors, pay $35,000. Some of the lower level sponsors pay $10,000, $15,000, $5,000. But a lot of the 20-40-somethings can't afford $350. So we want to connect them to Equality California, especially at this crucial time in California, by actually throwing a gala-style event. We believe at Design on Utah Street, which is a high-end furniture store. So we're going to throw a gala. We're going to have free drinks, appetizers, and a lot of fun.
So how many national brands have come to you and said, you know, one of my VPs, one of my sales reps went to one of your parties and said it was great. I was impressed. Are you getting now people coming to you saying, we want you to do a Reason to Party event for us, as opposed to you going out finding good causes to help?
More and more, and we've actually set up a whole system where they can contact us through our website, and then we'll send it to one of our staff members who vets the charity, proposes it to the board of directors, and in the end the board of directors chooses who we sponsor. And right now we're coming up with the 2011 plan and dates and venues and charities. So we'd love for people to email us if they know of any innovative causes or just want to get involved helping charity.
In our last few moments, give us some advice for someone who says, you know, I have a nonprofit, I don't know how to do an event. Should they try to do this themselves, or, I mean, obviously call reason to party? What is the main mistake that people make when they try to do a fundraising event for a good cause?
One of the things that I see is that they go high dollar, and I can understand why. We need to raise a lot of money. But one of the nice things about charity is that you're bringing together all types of people in all different communities to help with a good cause. So one of the biggest mistakes that I see is raising the dollar price of an event so high where most people cannot afford it.
And sometimes building the relationship is just as important, if not more so.
Exactly. Over time, the 20, 40-somethings are going to be able to give $500, $1,000, $10,000, $1 million.
We'll be back next speaking with Pat Callahan of Canine Companions for Independence. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much.